Please note that this video contains spoilers for the subject and the series and/or franchise leading up to this entry. I either have or will cover other parts of this franchise, and this video either is or will be linked below. I'm not going to restate here what I did or will say in the other video. These videos get long enough as it is. Put off by how long this video is, don't worry, I try to jam-pack my videos with as much content and as much detail as I possibly can. Anything I feel I can comment on and that I feel you might be interested in, I pretty much put in the video. I try not to repeat myself and talk fairly fast. Simpsons Season 7 Series Thoughts. Starting with the intro. Unlike in the past, I will not record the review the same date as the last season Thoughts video. The Thoughts videos are getting so long by themselves. I'll review the show in a few weeks. I've kind of moved it back and forth because Deus Ex is taking a while. I think 2 weeks from now is probably what I'm going to stick with. 1 week from now is Wonder Woman. But no, Deus Ex will not be 3 weeks from now. And yeah, this season has some of the best and most interesting episodes of the first 7 seasons. And the season extras, this again has a Matt Groening, thing, some storyboards and animatics. It has Paul and Linda's lentil soup, a short bit on Homer in the Third Dimension, and yes, now moving on to politics and such. Roger Ailes' son has just threatened that, I'm coming after you and I'm bringing heck with me. That just tells me he's watched 300 too many times. Well, there's no such thing, but he's taking it way too seriously. And Ben Carson just claimed that, you can give some people everything and they'll still end up with nothing, where other people, you can take everything away from them and they'll soon end up back on top. Well, yeah, I mean, if you just give them something, again, like Trump when he declared bankruptcy, yeah. And, people are freaking out about how Star Trek has diversity, as if that's new. I'm sorry, if you need your Star Trek to, star, you need for the captain to be a white guy, you have several shows for that. Just, go back and stay there. Stay in the past, which is where you're comfortable. Who Shot Mr. Burns? Part 2. And yeah, Smithers says, oh, my mouth tastes like an ashtray. And then we find out it is, in fact, just that. And, they're parodying the whole thing of, that whole season was just a dream, which, it's not the first time. I want to say Married with Children. I forget if they did what exact season that was, but they did something quite like this. But yeah, it's quite good. I should stop saying quite. Yeah. Dozens of people are gunned down each day, but until today, none of them was important. He was then moved to a better hospital where doctors upgraded his condition to alive. Ain't that the truth? They ain't talking. And as we learned later, they have the killer and a prime, and an exact witness to the thing right there. So that's, yeah, I like that. That's, when you first see it, it's like the baby and the dog. Come on. And then by the end of the episode, we know that it was the baby who did the crime, and the dog was right there. And the I'm going to the outhouse. We don't have an outhouse. I told you. Oh, Dad. And the muffler sale and the rickets. What town did we just crush? Shelbyville. Yay! This thing works great. Like taking candy from a baby. Huge clue. And Dr. Colossus, who sounds almost exactly like Moe there at the end of the scene when he's like really annoyed, like, actually wait, I think I might be thinking of it, but yeah, when he's really annoyed, saying, when is Mademoiselle coming? Dave Shutton, who are you? Where are you going? And suddenly Sideshow Mel is Sherlock Holmes, and he's treating Krusty almost like a Watson. So, yeah, I don't remember the exact line, but that's much worse. And then Krusty reenacts the electric chair. You shot who and the what now? When Smithers isn't serving Burns, he actually has a conscience. Who could be as bloodthirsty as Waylon Smithers? I had a darn good reason. And, we see the flashback of him shaking Burns, saying, my name is Homer Simpson. That might put a mark on Burns' mind. I never thought I could shoot down a German plane. Last year, I proved myself wrong. For a second, you're like, oh, he helped the war effort, but nope. And, according to Nancy Drew, all you need to solve a mystery is an inquisitive temperament and two good friends. And I have an inquisitive temperament. Illegal? But he's in show business. He's a celebrity. Let's roll, boys. And I love the song. I hope all the suspects are this much fun. And then Skinner's is so boring with the one word increase at a time. And for a little while you think that they might just keep going like that, but then he does that. Now I did, and then he really gets going. So yeah. This is your last warning about that video game. I love the lie detector scene. It's just so good. And then it ends with apparently Moe does think that he deserves this kind of shabby treatment. And oh, the coffee's out. I'll just drink this warm cream. Brilliant. And the Twin Peaks Lynch dream, and then by the end of it, it's like, oh, come on, it's not that much of a, come on, just get it, please. We didn't bury it that much within dream logic. Did you have the same dream about the burning playing card? I'll drive. Oh, wait, that kind of thing takes 8 to 10 weeks. Cigarettes. Did I say weeks? I meant seconds. Why do you think they keep them in circulation? And they have the old Windows fanfare sound. Bingo! The gunman has a name-o. DNA evidence, positive ID. That'll never hold up in any court. Run, Dad! He's very ready. That's Bart is always getting caught red-handed, so he's like, oh wow, this is looking really good. That's where he got it, I guess. or that's what he thinks in that scene anyway. And yeah, he's just, okay, I gotta get him out of here. And Homer is so slow on the uptake. Like, Bart really has to just push him, and yeah. Ha, that's what they all say. They all say dough. And apparently that part was ad-libbed by Dan. That's, yeah. Diane, I'm going to take my break now. When you were in that coma, did you feel your brain getting damaged? You know, like when you watch movies starring Mark Sinclair, or as he calls himself, Vin Diesel. And also just, you know, he goes in, hi everybody, oh, Mer Simpson. Okay, that was a little strange. That seems to be all you can say. No, 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 when I married your father, I took everything, you know, I took everything, including DNA. Yeah. And Lisa gets so much right in just this, you know, she points out the fingerprints could have come on the gun another way, and that turns out to be what actually happened. Why is this on the floor? And then he puts it in the, yeah, he likes to keep a lollipop there. And you know, Smithers is like, well, you know, obviously he'd want vengeance on Homer Simpson, so, you know, reward for his capture, dead or alive. And then they freak. You won't be telling anyone else that Homer Simpson shot you. Oh, Mr. Pigeon, I'd kiss you if you weren't swimming with disease. He's innocent. He wouldn't hurt a fly. And then Smithers, who is this beast that's shaking me? No! It really is one way or the other in this two-parter. He either doesn't understand Homer's name or he only says Homer's name. And they point out in the commentary the animation on the dough when Homer realizes it is pure Silverman. And that is the perfect time for something like that, because they really, you know, after all of that, it really, yeah, just, Homer can't win in this two-parter on Burns, yeah. And really, I mean, they did just put on steroids what they already had. Every time he hears, you know, Simpson, eh? So, yeah, it is just, Burns can't remember Homer's name, and they just, now he can't even remember it, you know, a few seconds from having been told. And Homer's threatening to shoot Burns to prove that he didn't shoot Burns. Indulge my sweet tooth. Oh, it's you. We already knew he recognized Maggie from the candy box. And he's tried to steal from her before, yeah, and that's exactly wow, I didn't even realize that until just now. He's tried stealing from her before when it was about Bobo, and that's exactly the thing he recognized her for in the candy box. The child that found my precious teddy bear Bobo. Wow. I think you better drop it. And we thought that, you know, that it was a gun, but yeah, it's the candy. What? No. So the MS or WS was just accidental, even though that was, you know, seemed like a huge clue. Maybe Texas. As long as it had been born already, yeah. Radioactive Man. It's a great gag, running gag with the air conditioner suction, with again explaining away a cartoony thing. I keep telling you, he's 73 years old and he's dead. Granted, but, and one of the words, you know, among the words in the great parody of the Adam West Batman show is Snuff from Marge's campaign against Itchy and Scratchy, Bort from the Itchy and Scratchy land license plate, and it becomes Go-Go and they start dancing. Flim Springfield. They don't need a big ad or even correct spelling. Strange, I shouldn't have been able to hear that. The sun is exploding again. And the TV, you know, he keeps changing the channel, and all of them are talking about, you know, everyone is talking about, and then it's with, y'all? Were you the ugly one? No. Luckily, Alfalfa was an orphan, owned by the studio. Well, not here inside. No, run! No wonder no one came to my birthday party. And I love Bart's audition, and you know, the ending of it is the act break, just the whole... Excuse me. You know, he gets increasingly excited, and, you know, then at the end, it's like, congratulations, Bart Simpson, you're our new Fallout boy. Is what I'd be saying if you weren't 2 inches too short. Bye. That's how fast Grandpa's shrinking. And Lionel Hutz, like the religious people, suck up to God. Mr. Simpson, and he's gone. And Krusty getting cast is also quite good. And he's going, you know, look at my range. Up and atom, 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 up and atom. Better. And Milhouse getting hurt, and it's like, it is a little weird that apparently in the scene he's wearing the exact same clothes as he normally does. It sounds like more fun than it is. Good question, we'll check into that. And there are, you know, horses for cows and cats for horses, and them relaxing next to the truck. I've said Jiminy Jelliger so many times that the words have lost all meaning, which is say something, because they had a lot to begin with. I want to see goggles, people. Real acid. My eyes, the goggles do nothing. I've seen that one on the internet a lot of times. Spinning newspaper injures printer. And they had to cross out dead from Dead or Alive poster. Seamless, huh? You're fired, and with good cause. Will the dogs find him, or will they find him and kill him? Excuse me, you didn't answer my question, you just trailed off. Yeah, I did. I did kind of trail off there, didn't I? And twice. No, you won't. Wait, how many corners are in that treehouse? And Mickey talks about the foreign markets and such as if they're like orphan children needing AIDS relief or something. Thank goodness we're back in Hollywood, where people treat each other right, and the music, lean on me. And in the commentary they point out that, you know, in the ending shot there would have been 5 killings alone, and where are the prostitutes? Home sweet home diddly-dum-doodily. Excuse me. It's a Couch Gags Brady Bunch parody. And Marge is ridiculously effective. Except for one person who seemed to have mental problems. You did the right thing by telling me. Did they just drive around the world in moments, Superman style? No, we shan't. Yoink! If anybody deserves to be wrapped up in seaweed and buried in mud, it's you. I feel like punching myself. So cold, so very, very cold. Skinner doesn't know that Lisa was in better shape than she is on this one day. Man, Grandpa is covered in mess. Maid's been here. Stupid babies need the most attention. All is well. Turn tape over, and then they rewinded. All is well. Little neglectorinos. I'm not going to judge Homer and Marge. That's for a vengeful God to do. That is what people are saying when they say we don't judge this or that person. Is your source on this reliable? I guess Flanders forgot all about snot. And the baby bottle becomes a weapon in a mere moment. Why, my only son. Rod and Todd did not take Itchy and Scratchy well. That's the way you look when you first see violence in fiction. It'll pass after you've seen that for the second or third time. You negligent monster. Oh, Maggie. I got nothing against Maggie. And Homer keeps interrupting the judge, like, shut up, Judge! And they're going to take Skinner away. The light switch? Makes sense. This is the most we've gotten of Cletus in only one episode so far. Let's stop the fussing and the feuding. What, and get down to the loving? And even Maggie answered one of the Bible quiz questions, right? Jesus? I love Flanders' reaction to that. Because that's the one thing they do. They're, okay, a person in the Bible, Jesus. Actually, we were never baptized, and he faints. All I need is a little love for my son and daughter. Yes, a little LSD is all I need. Oh, that's great. Ned, have you tried one of the other major religions? They're all pretty much the same. Man, a few seasons back, he was terrified the Simpsons kids were leaving the faith. Gone baptizing. In the eyes of the Lord, they'll be Flanders. Daddily-doodily, and her head spins. And, it actually worked to think like Flanders, even though that's what Homer thinks that is, I'm a big four-eyed lame who wears the same sweater every day. Same stupid sweater every day. I heart your kids. Wow. And it's like acid on his face, like he's Satan. And on the commentary they point out that's not meant to be taken as anti-theistic, it's that the Simpsons family are bad, or at least they are by a Christian perspective. Homer reacts that way because he hates that level or brand of Christianity. It's not that any baptism is like acid on your skin. You're a Simpson again, and she burps. Old cans of paint, and they lose it. Bart sells his soul. It's just swell. And this is actually in part based on a real event, but with high schoolers, not 10-year-olds. And the person involved in making Simpsons was the Millhouse in the scenario, basically, not the Bart. No shoes, no shirt, no salvation. I love Bart peddling hymns. He can sell just anything as long as he's, in favor of it or enjoying himself. I love the playing of him with, Mrs. Fish. I want to say, we find out her name is, she's gradually being worn out, and it finishes, and, she just collapses. And Millhouse's father's remaining hair is graying. and single mothers. You too, Snitchy. And, talking about the soul, and Bart's like, I can't believe someone who wears glasses is this gullible. Bart should have read Faust. Anything we need, chum. Ah, natural sunlight, get it off me, get it off me. Hey, put a coaster under that. Oh no, it's dripping funny smelling water all over me. Where'd you get $5? I want $5. You're pretty uppity for someone who eats bugs all day. Thank you, Door. Way to breathe, no breath. I like it. I like it. I hate it. 40 seconds, but I want it now. Milhouse? Yes. You must be getting pretty bored of that, so no. We sell good old-fashioned home cooking. Deep fried to perfection. For just a second there, you thought, it's good, 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 good. Sounds good. Oh, honey, you're not a monster. Now he's going straight to hello, operator. And don't forget the standard scream. That's Mo, the guy from the ad. Right this way, Homer. And he knows my name. You helped name the place. Or you suggested names for the place anyway. You were there when stuff was being moved in. You discussed this with him. Yeah. Please take the fries off my head. The basket is extremely hot. Then we add in secret hobo spices. And Lisa's saying grace and just saying soul over and over. Run, boy! Run for your life! Boy! Leave this place. You are in great danger. The one you call Milhouse is gone. He went to his grandma's place while spraying for potato bugs. Did you notice him carrying a piece of paper? Oh yeah, you don't forget a thing like that. Bart got all the way to the door without noticing the tent. So Sherry and Terry apparently have the same birthday as Rod? My teeth hurt. Ow, my freaking ears. Oh, your teeth hurt, huh? Your teeth hurt? I expect that kind of language at Denny's. 257th Street, and I'm on 3rd. And the car crashes into the subway station, and Bart hisses. Mo, maybe you should keep the fire extinguishers? Nah, too many bad memories. And Homer talking to Mo, just... Mo? Hey, Mo? Mo? Oh, you're talking about all the money you wasted, aren't you? What was it? 40,000? 50,000? Mo? Maybe it would help if we went over everything you did wrong. Mo? What? Let me get the pen. Let me get a pad, I think he says. He still hasn't realized. Mo doesn't really want to go through this right now. And Milhouse's grandma looks like an older version of his mother, yet again fitting that everyone in the family looks just like Milhouse. Milhouse, give him back his soul. I've got work tomorrow. No banging your head. Are you there, God? It's me, Bart Simpson. Puberty's been happening, and not any of the ones you know about. And they point out the commentary. Apparently Mo had the place taken apart within hours of yelling at the customers. That's why it cost him $60,000. Because the whole thing with Bart clearly happens over the course of that night, over hours. So, yeah, it's Lisa the vegetarian. And one of the people doing Simpsons turned vegetarian around the time this was made, and the episode is based on the experience. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Where are we going? I'm sure it's fun for all kids, ages 8 to... who knows? And then they get fun for ages 1 to 7.5. He blows, alright. He blows big time. That's right. That's Bart. Get into the spirit. Maggie loved it. That's good. Not great. And the middle bear voice is from that old video game, I forget what it's called. And limboing under the thing, and then he finds out why they have yeah. And them awing at the increasingly cute little, you know, baby sheep. And increasingly baby sheep. The following cars have been broken into. And the Flanders family BBQ with the Flanders choir. Hi diddly-o, neighborino, shut up, oakley dokley. Oh, fine, then I'll have my own barbecue, and I'll only invite who I want. Can I come? Sure. Oh! Another chapter in the storied legacy of the Simpson Flanders barbecues. It'll be a great chance to meet our neighbors outside of a courtroom setting. You might say the extra ingredient is salt. Please, Lisa, I thought you loved me. Love me. This is lamb, not a lamb. What's the difference between this lamb and the one who kissed me? This one spent 2 hours on a broiler. I love the hot dog image, and it's so true. My shoulder, it went in my mouth, and I accidentally ate it. Can I have another? No, Ralph, there are no more. Well, there you go, Lisa. Just eat the worm, then you don't have to dissect it. What did I ever do to you? Why does it talk like a lamb? Is there anything that doesn't have meat in it? Possibly the meatloaf. You know, stuff like that. Ow. There's that magic door to the kitchen, only there for the jokes. You don't want friends with salad. I didn't mean to take sides. I just got caught up in the rhythm. Now, in the interests of open dialogue, sit silently and watch this film. Hello, Bobby. Jimmy. Don't let the name throw you, Jimmy. Oh, well, alright then. Getting hungry, Jimmy? I think you might need medical attention. I love the food chain with just, you know, such self-serving, just man in the middle, and all the arrows from all the other animals are just pointing to him. Just ask this scientician. And I love the clips of animals capturing each other. You know, I want to say it's like a hawk that grabs a sheep and just flies off with it, and a gorilla just like reaching out for a banana, and then a shark jumps up and tears him down. They can't actually expect us to swallow this tripe. And here from the Meat Council, please help yourselves to this tripe. Wow, Barney, you brought a whole keg. Yeah, where can I fill it up? And Homer using lighter fluid again. I brought enough gazpacho for everyone. I am very much... I totally think that vegetarian... You know, I'm on Lisa's side for a lot of this, but you probably should have brought something more interesting. There are other non-meat things that are interesting to eat, you know. But to answer, no, I am not a vegetarian. Yeah, I like meat too much. But I have no problem with vegetarians or vegans. Here you go, doctor, another hot beef injection. Hey, Homer, can I have another burger? I don't seem to be able to stand up on my own power anymore. It's bad enough that they eat meat. They don't have to rub it in my face, and then they literally rub it in her face. That would probably also, more than being like really obnoxious, it would probably hurt. That's grease that's on her face. And absolutely nothing went... Huh? Bart, no! What did I do? Sorry, force of habit. Lisa, no! It's still good, it's still good. It's just a little slimy, it's still good, it's still good. It's just a little airborne, it's still good, it's still good. It's gone, I know. I think I'll donate $1 million to that orphanage. When pigs fly. Are you gonna donate that money? No, I'd still prefer not. Give it up, Dad. Piggy ain't coming back. I was standing up for a just cause. Which of the three? There are a lot of open world fun. I'm going to my room. That's it. Go to your room. I love how Homer forgets that Lisa's the one he's not talking to. And tell Bart, thank your mother for pointing that out. Lisa, tell your mother to get off my case. Why don't you just eat him, Dad? Here comes Mrs. Potato Head. She has a head made out of lettuce. Which is it? It's like that song, Live and Let Live. Actually, it was Live and Let Die. Whatever, it had a good rhythm. Take it up, Boo. I love Homer yelling for Lisa. He apparently actually thinks there's some chance that she might be deep within that baby carriage, or that baby carriage might somehow transmit the sound to somewhere that she might be. And isn't one of the places he yells into, like, the sewer? At least he's passionate about wanting her back. But I know it's almost always my fault. Actually, this time I was wrong. Too. Aw. I mean, a veggie-back ride home. I really appreciate that she stays vegetarian after this episode. You know, there's so many things in the first 7 seasons that don't stay. You know, it's the sitcom thing. Next week, it's another adventure. But in this case, it actually, yeah. And on the commentary, they point out, you know, one of the things, they knew that Paul McCartney, the one surviving Beatle that hadn't done the show, wouldn't be able to say no to a vegetarian story. So, Treehouse of Horror VI. It's really annoying that they didn't do one the first season. Every time you do, when you talk about a season's Treehouse of Horror episode, you always have to subtract 1 from the season number. And this is another one of my favorite Halloween specials. Really like the Sleepy Hollow opening. Sucking fast. Yeah. Don't not. And the Godzilla roar. Well, I acquired it legally, you can be sure of that. That's like when Trump says, you know, nope, that definitely wasn't, you know, I didn't mention Mossad at all. And, yeah. And Bart plays the devil, and the devil on the devil's shoulders. Flanders has it. Go smash up his house. He came to life. Good for him. And are you still on that donut? Mo has it. Go kill Mo. Homer, just give him the donut. It'll end the horror. Okay, if it'll end horror. And then he, you know, it grabs it and starts smashing stuff. That is a very brave dog to bark at that. Don't you ever get tired of being wrong? Sometimes. These ads are destroying everything and everyone we care about. And you kids should have jackets on. And he's an ad exec, so his 2 tools are attention and jingles. Oh, Shazbot. We'll be right back. And Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. Thanks, Bot. Now let's have no more discussion of this bizarre cover-up. You have 3 hours to finish. And they have some great Freddy one-liners in this episode. Better than some of the actual Freddy one-liners. Ha ha! Oh, just wheel him out of here. Not into the kindergarten! Ooh, I don't see what that has to do with Groundskeeper Willie. The 13th hour of the 13th day of the 13th month. Do not touch Willie. Good advice. And Willie actually sits down and waits his turn. How you gonna get him? Skeleton power? And his ghost cleans up after itself. Welcome to my world. Okay, but promise you won't be grouchy. Good plan, Bart. Ah, stinky sand. And the Terminator 2 melting thing. Don't dream about me no more, kid. Goodbye, Lise. I hope you get reincarnated as someone who can stay awake for 15 minutes. Boo! No, wait! I left my gun at the seat! Oh, they got me with their legal mumbo-jumbo. And then he's like, the carpet, and he lifts it, and both pets are down there, and they are like, we are not giving him our place. It's like that Twilight show about that zone. May I take your coat? I would also like to take your coat. You really did not think this one through, kids. Then neither did Homer. None of Homer's ideas for how to hide make sense, really. I mean, I guess the closest that he comes to one that does make sense is the, hiding behind the what is he called? Whatchamacallit thing for the books? Holy macaroni! Do you see towels? If you see towels, you're probably in the linen closet again. We better call Ned. He has a ladder. Do you see a light, Homer? Yes. Move into the light, my son. Whoa, slow down, egghead. The 3D designs for the two Simpsons look pretty good, and apparently they based them on that they were already stuffed animals. So 3D versions already existed, and they bought those and based it on I've played a bunch of games with The Simpsons, so I'm quite used to their 3D appearances. The 3D looked great when the episode came out. Today, it feels really slow, in love with its graphics, and I mean, I'm not saying that the animation is as complex as it could be at the time, but they could have moved it faster. Some of the time, it does move very fast. The immediacy of the growing hole, for example, works really well, but when Homer's just walking around and when he's looking at the water with the fish, that really takes forever, and just, it looked good when it was new, but stuff like that, you really should be careful not to just fall in love with the cool effects you can do. Dad seemed cautiously optimistic. Crap! Don't worry, Marge. He's gone on to a better place. And then he comes in. I want to say that's like L.A. I beg to differ, Reverend. This is the worst place yet. They do a really good job. The actual live action, the people reacting to Homer walking around, great. It's no one runs off screaming. But again, these people live in a big city, so yeah. King-size Homer. Someone's in here. Worth a shot. 2. Actually, Homer, that's just 1. See, every push-up includes both an up part and a down part. Must hurt self. Must hurt self. Must hurt self. And the signs, careless workers above. Probably better that didn't hit me. I love the oil glide. It really, I mean, it basically makes sense to try to do. There's a pretty good chance that he's going to hit something, but nope, can I help you? Could you give me a push in the other direction? Okay, thank you. And suddenly Burns is strong enough to push Homer, and with a... yeah. Yes, that's the spirit. Dad, I know we don't do a lot together, but helping you gain weight is something I want to be a part of. And Lisa was listening the whole time and sitting on... and she spins around. No wonder the Homer screams. Dad, Yes, sweetheart. Could you recommend a doctor who will? Yes. Of course, Dr. Nick. Combined with a lot of Assel horizontology. If the paper turns clear, it's your window to weight gain. Bye-bye, everybody. Eat around the banana, Dad. It's just empty vitamins. And a bird flies into it and dies. Homer, you're on the towel rack. And Homer's fantasy is great. And a subway ran over my hat. It is strange how someone's clothes in that situation reflects their personal disheveledness. But beautiful. Good night. We're even out of the basic elements of food. You ate all the tarragon and you drank all the soy sauce. Aw, honey, it looks just like a real donut. Dad, it says non-toxic, and he's already eating. Oh, that's a plus. He didn't need to know that in order to, yeah. I don't want to look like a weirdo. I'll just go with the moo-moo. First time I've ever been early for work, except those daylight savings hours. Lousy farmers. There doesn't seem to be any key. Explosion. Okay then, vent the stupid gas. Then why don't you live there? I would if I could. I wash myself with a rag on a stick. And, you know, he pretends to do it, and then he, you know, moves it towards her, and she goes like, ew, as if he's actually poking at her with the rag on a stick. Remember when I giggled at his Sherlock Holmes hat? He slept for a week, then closed his detective agency. Dad? Yes, honey. Mom just baked a cake. You dragged me all the way from work for that. I'm drought and famine resistant. I love you. And where's that cake? There's no cake. Oh. Sound alertness horn, and then we can hear it from that far away. That's how loud it is. Although, you know, judging by that one episode, apparently the plant and the house is not that far away, considering where he parked. Could you pick me up a lemonade and a beer? No, Homer, the reality is not going to be like your fantasy. So many letters to choose from. And he gets bored with it because that's what happens when you're that close to distractions and what you're doing is that simplified and that boring. There, you found the floor. What are you doing, Dad? Washing my fat guy head, honey. And the cinema trip. What happened to my bird? Somebody flipped your bird. Marge, Lisa, Flanders. This is all my fault, and it nods in agreement. Please match the keypad with your palm now. There'll be time for the frozen pudding wagon later. Is that seriously what Burns thinks ice cream is? That's... wow. I mean, pudding. Ice cream is not that young of an invention, Burns. Wait a minute. There's probably a... nope, too late, bye. And I think it's ironic that for once Dad's butt prevented the release of toxic... Can you make me thin again? I guarantee it. One... Bah! I'll just pay for the blasted liposuction. Mother Simpson. And for Burns, it's of course just a photo op. He immediately walks away. Half these bottles ain't even mine, but about half of them are, apparently. I love the, you know, as Homer, you know, as the dummy goes through they keep saying, oh good, there's a, oh no, and there's, yeah. One of the bravest men from Sector 7G. I'll cross him off the list. 61, 62, 63. And the newspaper. Man loses life, pants. Or it might be the other order. You know, Homer's passing away into death. One moment. And Marge had guessed that he was going to fake his own death. And you're all set, you water cooler dictator. Who the heck is Margaret Simpson? Your youngest daughter. Why does my death keep coming back to haunt me? Ain't anybody in this cemetery dead? I didn't want to cause a fuss, but now that you mention it... I almost always spoil the moment. And the bird comes out and spits out a fish that ends up and he wiggles and says, "It's okay, honey. It wasn't your fault." This is like something out of Dickens or Melrose Place. Wow, there's something of a range there. Oh, so full of questions and bright shiny eyes. Wait, how many eyes does she think they have? No more living vicariously through my girlfriends. It's that important to you to have a mother-in-law? I'll Kwanzaa you. Don't be so hard on little... What is his name? And Lisa and Mom bond. When I was going through her purse, look what I found. And she's reading Steele's book. And even as a child, Homer loved jingles. And Mom is explaining, and Marge is like, "So, where did your new sense of irresponsibility take you?" Because that's what she heard. When the H-bomb isn't enough. Hey, Mr. Burns, enough already with the germs. It could be a late night. I'm meeting my destiny. So long. And, you know, the bomb is antibiotics. The boogie-woogie influenza. Acne remains, but asthma disappearing. They never harmed his soul. They never even had the chance. And Wiggum, as the subtitles put it, he snorts and brays. And the warning that wanted, may be extremely helpful. Oh, come on, Mom. We use that same line on the kids. No. Oh, wait, this. Am I too late for the 2:30 autogyro? I better look in the manual. The ignorance. This manual must be out of date. I don't see Prussia, Siam, or autogyro. There's a reason for that. 7. Rhetorically. 8. Do I know what rhetorical means? You don't, but you're asking one and answering it unintentionally. According to our calculations, she should look about 25 years older. Then I seen her. That is to say, I saw her. Look, I'm a hippie. Bomb Vietnam. Bart... And Maggie dancing with all the tattoos. That nice lady said biological warfare back 30 years. Ma'am, we're all good cops. Not according to every recording of any cop ever. Eustace R. Dewo? Better start in Greektown. Chief, you're talking into your wallet. You'll always be a part of me. Dope! And now we know which part. Very emotional episode and ending. On the commentary, they talk about, the show had been going on for 7 years and no one had thought about Homer's mother. Sideshow Bob's Last Gleaming. And it's a parody of Strangelove, among others. And, you know, part of it is inspired by the Simpsons writers' frustration with, you know, horny old people on sitcoms and other crap on TV. And, you know, the charity thing, and then it's just a slide. Whatever happened to Sideshow Bob? Smooth. My dear Abby. And Rupert Murdoch is in jail. And apparently they were worried about, like, will it be okay? And he apparently said, "I would be honored to be in jail on The Simpsons. I renew my objection, formally now, and verbally now, and formally later by print. Time permitting." And it plays the Fox theme after the whole ass Lollapalooza. You still got it, Bob. Hey, where's Sideshow Bob and the guy who eats people's faces and takes their lives, takes over their identity? I'm right here, Chief. Oh, then where's Sideshow Bob? If anybody asks, I beat him to death. Right, Chief. And Bob hid behind behind the statue. It is so simple that even a child could fly it. Can I fly it? Of course you cannot. Free duff, viva life. Send me to a psychiatrist, will you? Oh, but it's clearly done wonders for you. Arlie Ermy is great in this. Grandpa, that history lesson... You know what, you could have been more wrong. It took 11 takes for Kelsey Grammer to not laugh while doing the runaway phone. And the hair gets stuck. They didn't have any aspirin, so I got you some cigarettes. And Marge is shot through the hair. Except, of course, a mushroom cloud. And he almost triggers it because of a bump in the road, and then he's moving more carefully and laughing maniacally, more reservedly. Hi, Maggie. Maggie? And the Jets hover to listen to the broadcast. And Scrimshaw. Yes, I realize the irony of appearing on television to call for a ban of television, so don't bother pointing that out. Stamp your hand for re-entry. Priorities. My children are in there. You must be very proud, ma'am. And the war room. Someone made an awful mess down there. And Alien Grey. And the representatives of television. It's time we face up to the unface up toable. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not go nuts. I think the survivors would envy the dead. And the satellite dish crashed. Blast! I should have made more demands. Some decent country mom would be nice. Oh well, next time. At least they're wearing clean underwear. Dun, dun, dun. What makes your voice all high? And he's, yeah, underwear that's too tight. Helium. Crusty, but how? And then, you see that he drove all the way out to the... He really is just obsessed with getting attention, that he's like, no, it's okay, I'm safe. You said think of the ratings. You do realize that if everyone's been blown up... Yeah. How could I think that a mere atom bomb... I agree. But... And his sister Lisa, to whom I'm fairly indifferent. Thank for the, the idiot-proof Air Force. They simply made a better idiot. But you don't hear me bragging. Now you, boy. And the kamikaze. What is the frickin' holdup? Here we go again. The Simpsons 138th episode spectacular. Favorite non-prehistoric family, cartoon family. I love the drawings of the people behind the show. They haven't changed a bit, have they? And Maggie makes a Bart face to exclaim, as wacky as the kids were, they were no match for Captain Wacky, later renamed Homer. And when Maggie is scanned at the start, what does it say? NRA forever, just one of hundreds of right-wing messages put in by creator Matt Groening in every episode. I think Homer gets stupider every year, and that's a great montage. Get out of my office! You know what I'm talking about. The real deal is... Now I know what you're saying. Come on, Troy, I've watched every Simpsons episode. You can't possibly show me anything new. You've got some attitude, mister. Besides, you're wrong. And Krusty's wanting to be in the ad for, what's it called? Yeah, ooh, I can ride a bike again. And the Bond card game is great. But it won't make you unhappy, right? And Homer and Mom talking Homer's job. Bart, stop pestering Satan. And Troy fell asleep, but the moment he's woken, he's ready with the line. My worst, eh? I really love that whole bit. Excuse me. And the deleted scenes from Who Shot Mr. Burns, the dog shot him. And just in general, all the different versions of people shooting him. And I love how so many of them don't match up with what's told in the episode at all. Like, they literally, in the actual episode, they say, this is I mean, okay, the dog shooting him, that would at least, that's not that much more ridiculous than the baby shooting him. The big difference there would be that, the dog doesn't have, it uses its mouth the teeth to pull the trigger. But, the rest of them, they're clearly using a different gun than the one we are told in the episode the bullet came from. Yeah. I was busy that night. I'm giving you a 5% pay cut. No. But for that to work, you'd have to ignore all the Simpson DNA evidence. And that would be downright nutty. Marge Be Not Proud. Now, one of the commentary people actually did shoplift, and a message was left on his machine, but his parents didn't find out. Him going back into the store happened too, but it had been 4 or 5 months, and they didn't catch him. KKK? That's not good. A subsidiary? Oh no. Welcome to my home, and then we see through the window. Badass Santa. Well, good night. Marge's lameness. And Barton Millhouse. Maybe someone feels sorry for me and buy me one. That is kid logic. He must be the happiest kid in the world. Sure, can't you tell? It's like punching. It's a victimless crime, like punching someone in the dark. And Bart imagines iconic game characters, very true to a little boy's imagination, and basically all of them are supporting him with that, no matter how much they're, like, one of them is Sonic. Sonic on the bad of the two Saturday morning cartoons literally had PSAs. I'm not certain there was one about stealing, but you know, the character has been used to communicate good messages to children, and yet there is Bart thinking that, yeah, you know. And it is not as funny a Sonic as the Press Start Adventure Sonic, but, you know, that would be difficult. And apparently, you know, someone will buy me, they actually, on the commentary, they mentioned sometimes that did actually work, but, you know, probably not with, you know, expensive games like that. And yeah, having been a kid when the episode aired, yes, I don't buy console games anymore, and especially not new ones, but yeah, it was ridiculous how expensive games for those were. Even some of the really simple ones, like Game Boy games, were sometimes really simple and yet really expensive. It's ridiculous. Like, PC games were always way less expensive. I'm not saying, you know, there might be reasons for that, but it's hard not to see where Marge is coming from. I don't think this is the kind of coat that opens. And Troy McClure in the, you know, Shana, will you ever learn? And you know, you think you're pretty smart, don't you? No? Alright, that's enough, smart mouth. They weren't home, huh? But I left a message on the answering machine. That's right. Capiche? Well, do you understand? Everything except capiche. And the gotta change race. There wasn't a message on our answering machine when we left. How very odd. Marge, is Lisa at Camp Granada? I already mentioned the, you know, I talked about the song in an earlier video in the series. My teapot's are ready. Oh no, I'm not. I don't remember saying that. Catfish, and he puts the cigarette out in the seat ashtray. Now she'll really be surprised. Yeah. Oh, it's just there. He broke the 11th commandment, thou shalt not steal. Of course, according to the, you know, history of the world part 1, there are at least 5 commandments that we don't even know about. You know, now he's just a little boy stealing video games. Later he'll be a grown man stealing stadiums and quarries. Haven't you paid attention to that guy at church, Captain what's his name? Why do you think he rewatched all those Police Academy movies? For fun? Well, I didn't hear anybody laughing. Did you? And then he ends up completely forgetting. Stay out of my booze. You think this is one of those forever kind of things? I don't know. No leaving the house at all. Not even for school. Absolutely no stealing for 3 months. And the marshmallow thing. Give me a slice. I get that what he wanted was, you know, a cup of cocoa and with a marshmallow at the top, but the absorbed cocoa in the marshmallow, that's probably pretty tasty, I would think, but yeah. Millhouse, do you ever worry about your mom not loving you? What? I'm more worried about piranhas. Did you see that movie where they went in the nuclear submarine and then the piranhas went right through the periscope and bit the guy in the eye, and he goes, and that old man told them what happened? It's like looking into a living snow mirror. And, you know, Lisa's made dizzy by the, you know, fumes. And apparently, on the commentary track, they mentioned that they went back and forth on whether or not she should fall over. I think it would have been pretty funny. Get him, Ma. I spent 23 hours a day in this house. My little bitty Barty. Yeah, this is the worst Christmas ever. Oh, yeah. Ball is in parking lot. Team Homer. You fooled it, you bought it. That magazine provokes a dangerous amount of laughter. No, I am going to drink you under the... Aw. Think, Mo, think. I'm better than dirt. Well, most kinds of dirt, not that fancy store-bought kind. I'm tired of being a wannabe league bowler. I want to be a league bowler. No, I will not pay you $500 for sex. Come on, it's a great deal. It's sick. And I don't have that kind of money to spend on sex. Down with homework? That escalated quickly. And Chalmers is there, of course. Let me make just the 0 first. Ow, ow, ow. Why are the children not walking on my head? He's doped up or dying or something. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would haunt you. What'd he say? What'd he say? Was that about me? And Homer and Marge in bed. That's amazing. Wow. No, don't try to remember what that slogan was. Extra large and extra small. We've got both. We forfeit. And Homer saying suck over and over. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Stop everything. No, that's your check for bowling. That greedy, grasping glob of chemicals. I can think of a much dirtier word. Misappropriation. I love Homer throwing the ball and someone screaming. Call this an unfair generalization if you must, but all people are no good at everything. I think I must, Mo. I think I must. Man, Burns really stinks. High spirits are at an all-time low. See, I got it all the way to the end with only one push. And the stereotypes. And they just keep kicking over. That's leprosy for you. You're it. Now you are the one who is it. Understood. I remember all of these. I'm freaking out. I won't need this anymore. Marge, someone broke the toilet. Thank you, masked stranger. I've quoted that so many times. I am afraid I will have to make a similar threat with my name in place of Mo's name. Kick some Christian keister. Would that make you a Christian kicking conquistador? This is the first time I've ever felt rich. You're off the team. Homer didn't realize they wouldn't want Burns off the team anymore. Nice one, Homer. Thanks. And the harmonica. Go, Homer. That didn't take long. I guess no one can. And two bad neighbors. And, you know, it's basically the Simpsons-Bush rivalry actually appearing, playing out on the show. And, you know, it's Bart as Dennis the Menace, and Bush as Mr. Wilson. But not today. Oh, wait. There he is. Then why didn't you take a walk? Because I'm trying to... No, why didn't you read a book? Because I'm trying to reduce my boredom. I'll give you some fresh air and exercise. I'll do it anyway. Spray the boy. Who are you yelling at? You know, the guy who doesn't live here. And suddenly Homer knows all the Ayatollahs. Not that Disco Stew didn't get his share of the action. Oh, I guess you could put all kinds of things in that. No, just candy, Ned. $90. Disco Stew doesn't advertise. He does, however, refer to himself in the third person. I love the booing, and then there's one guy. Yes? Moving on to table 5. George Bush. Former President George Bush. Stupid president. Wait a minute. If Lisa didn't vote for him, and I didn't vote for him, Homer, you're about to crack this whole thing wide open. And of course Ned and Bush get along. He's a bad, bad little boy. Now Todd, don't scare the president. And then the dun dun dun. That was the cleverest thing you'll ever say, and nobody heard it. They only give you so many packs. Probably stole a napkin. In my day. Well, welcome to the 20th century, George. I'll kick you right out of the 20th century. Hey, my taxes paid for that horn. Why don't you go wake him? That's a great idea. And you are not president. Yes, I am. No, you're not, Bar. I don't remember the last time she made cookies for me. Was that? Nothing. Okay, the story checks out. Would you love me more if I was president? Because I'll do it if it makes you happy. Homer, as long as you keep the car full of gas, I'm happy. Well, you can depend on that. That's you know, when the woman we love tells us something like that, that's where our thought goes. You know, oh crap. Yeah. Excuse me. Since I achieved all my goals in my first term, there was no need for a second. The end. Good memoirs. Good, not great. Now don't you pull that cord, young man. Of course he's going to do it. And Bart kicks it to keep it going. Whoa, man. Whoa. Nothing. He spanked you? You? Bart Simpson? I begged him to stop, but he said it was for the good of the nation. Then he makes fun of the way I talk. Probably. I'm going to punch George Bush in the face. I see. Is he expecting you? Stand down. I love the trouble talk. There'll be lots of trouble for you. Oh! Man, that's a lame prank, George. It's Jeb and W. Keeping in mind that I already explained about my hair. Simpsons. George Bush is driving around on our lawn. He must be lost. It's time to hit him where he lives. His house? Bingo. He doesn't know George Bush. Hey, turkeys. Here's a little something we learned in the CIA. Yikes. Woohoo! In your face, Bush. I apologize for the tax hike. And then he gets along great with the Gerald Ford, and they both doe. Scenes from a class struggle in Springfield. I love the smoke cloud and the road signs, and those are apparently all based on real, yeah. Dairy Queen. I treated myself to a Sankanot 3 days ago. That'll be good for the economy. Yeah, the entire outlet mall thing is very directly based on real one. Well, what's the point of going out? We'll just wind up back here anyway. Oh, they did go. Nope. It's on TV, and she watches it while vacuuming, too. The gas pumps are there for jokes about gas, never any other time. And Apu faking he can't speak English. I did marry Homer. Come, you must show me the pumps. You haven't changed a bit as far as I know. And Burns at the gas station 2 episodes from now, he can't drive at all. It's a major plot point. But Sipowicz does it. And Krusty there. So many names ending in ah. Iris didn't mind cleaning it up. You might fire her if she had. They're better. Socially better. And Lisa noticing horses while she's trying to complain, and yeah. I'm sorry, I've gotta go. Don't ask me, I'm just hair. Your head stopped 18 inches ago. And Homer golfing. You can keep the shoes. Good choice. You've experienced this before, haven't you? I wonder if this Homer Nixon is any relation. Doubtful, sir. Their names are spelled and pronounced differently. My inevitable triumph. Yes. And Krusty hit in the head with a golf club. What time and how burnt? All the years you've caddied for me, I have never lost a oh. But does your wife? Why doesn't Homer tell them after the episode's plot is resolved? Maybe once someone will call me sir without adding, you're making a scene. Poor Maggie. We can see how awful we really are. That's passive-aggressive. I like Bart. They have beer and gum, right? Going by how this episode has no impact on their finances, apparently so. I wouldn't want to join any club that would have this me as a member. Intentional slight change to the Woody Allen quote? I pickled the figs myself. Yes, squeaky voice team, the 10-year-old, 8-year-old, infant, and adult couple come right from the prom. You're crazy. This place is a dump. Bart the Fink. The law firm Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, but then another name. No, it's a standard clause. Apparently. Best night's sleep I've ever had. And the BS Bank of Springfield. A professional in an ape mask is still a professional. I'm sure you'll find it more exciting than a weekend with Batman. Why doesn't this guy teach school? He's clearly got the ability to keep kids excited and enthralled. I mean, Bart walks away knowing about checks, so he did learn something. Do kids come by this place a lot? This bank? 1 cent and no cents. Thank you. The year 10,000. Okay, and then he's looking at his watch, waiting. Excuse me a moment. So this is what we need to do to the rich people keeping money offshore. Just ask for autographs. Yo, crap. I shouldn't have said it. He was a customer. Oh, crap. I shouldn't have said... Yes. Oh, crap. I shouldn't have said it was illegal. It's too hot today. Hey, I bought this popcorn fair and square. Not me, however. I love Krusty. Avoision. It's a crime. Look it up. I don't say evasion. I say avoision. Please, Krusty. This is America. We don't send our celebrities to jail. We just gonna garnish your celery. Garnish my celery? Please, Krusty, no jokes. Who's joking? I don't know what you're saying to me. It's so crazy. We're just gonna, say 75% of your, of your money for 40 years. I don't plan to live that long. Better make it 95%. Well, throw something. And the IRS burger with the whole... You should receive your burgers in 6 to 8 weeks, and the... Yeah. I still have my memories. They're locked up safe in my mansion. If it wasn't filled with some veteran. I'm going to bed. How much for Krusty's bed? As long as you're on TV, people will respect you. Too true. That'll do nicely. I got a feeling he'll be alright. Boom. Shows, oh my god! Joseph Stalin, Homer? Sideshow Bob. See ya real soon, kids! And Bob Newharting. Sideshow Mel blinks and stares mouth agape at Newhart for like a second or two. I don't know if it's intentional, or it's just like they didn't really notice or something. By a nearly 2-to-1 vote, a smiling Krusty was chosen. So some people did actually vote for the fiery death one. You could wake up dead tomorrow. Well, good night. What did he say? He said, I'm next. Would you like me to tell you then? Yes, I would. Well, I can't. You'll just have to learn to live with your mental problem. Yeah, I've got some customers. Call me back, Ishmael. From Pier 1 to that Pier 1 by Pier 17. Yar, you'll be dancing for hours. And the carefully placed net, and he hits the rock first. Don't kill us. And he turns his back on him, literally. He doesn't want to be a clown. He's happy just to be another blue-collared bozo. Still more respected. And like Krusty told Homer, this ain't makeup. The solution to being caught in one financial scam is another financial scam. You better hope Bart never decides he doesn't like Krusty so much anymore. Lisa the Iconoclast. And you can walk when you have to. Save on bridge tolls. Day. Less chat, more hat. And his chamber pot. It was already tame. I merely shot it. And he actually wrote, ha ha ha. Here's giant cakes. Did you had arthritis? No. George Washington fights dirty. Stenchberg. I want in on the ground floor. Even Ralph got an A. No baseball bat. Oh. And Homer's acting like a TV show cop. And then he's respected as if he were one. I have nothing but respect for the office of town crier, but this is well outside your jurisdiction. Emancipation attraction. You and your children and your children's children. For 3 months. I think he might have a misunderstanding about how fast the human productive system works. 100 yellow. And even Mo won't have that. There's an exit? Well, that's hardly the image we want for Long John Silver's. I shouldn't have let me get in. Yeah. And Janie. Oh, not Janie. She'll fill the Supreme Court with boys. I want to help you, George Washington. Even your dreams are square. And they still try to snipe her. I love the song. Yardley's on the commentary, and Moe and Company's Shocked is based on the reaction shot after the first number of Springtime for Hitler in the original of the producers, which is indeed amazing. And they say, you know, no other show would have the shot. South Park would, and did, and had it hit, and the death slightly celebrated. All of this before the commentary was recorded. Homer the Smithers. He needed a card for his own name. Alright, liver! Lenny sure is scary. And the phone rings. Never, never, never. That's a risk I'm willing to take. Well, who will take care of you then? And we know Smithers will pick Homer, but we think he'll get there through the search. And then each time the search just gets way too many. And yeah. Everyone always says they have to work a lot harder when I'm around. Next time, get your own darn corn. And you just know that has to happen sometimes. You know, how could they possibly always, you know, I mean, obviously both both Marge and Lisa would think this might really help your career, and Marge is out of the room, and then when she comes in, yeah. But this is the chair, right? In some way. What do we do in case of fire? Sorry, can't hear you. Bye. Oh, just my luck. Oh, Smithers, you look terrible. Okay, could you repeat the things? Good start. Little Rascals isn't on until 6. One of these has to be a breakfast maker, and everything catches fire. What about my stocks? They all won! What about my options? You can either get up or go back to sleep. I think the fangs today, and plops them in, and Burns just sits there, and he closes the mouth. And you have 30 minutes to move your car, you have 10 minutes to move your car has been empowered, your car has been crushed into a cube, you have 30 minutes to move your cube. Is it about my cube? And both kids try to take advantage of Homer. Bart, leave Simpson alone. Simpson, I need a ride to the library. The phone has been ringing for some time. Answer it. I love the lead up to Homer snapping and him snapping. That's a very nicely done montage with just no matter what. It's not just that he rejects all these things. He's throwing things at Homer and smashing the supercomputer and all this, and just, and by the end, Homer just snaps, punches him right in the face, and then runs off. What's wrong, Homer? Nothing. Except, I killed Mr. Burns. I punched him right in his 102-year-old face. Okay, just relax. Maybe if you go back and apologize, he won't even fire you. If he's alive. Maybe he's just really, really hurt. Let me put some salt on that eye. Spelling the surname does make a certain amount of sense for dialing the phone. If you didn't know that you were supposed to, that you were going by numbers, not letters. Yeah. And Homer burns his door with the mirror, and yeah. Being weighted on hand and foot may be good for maybe fine for average Joe. What can we say? We know what we like. And oh, he's at AT&T. Oh, neat and tidy. Can I ever move a piano again? And I love there's no way the microphone would pick up all of that. Even him landing hard, but it's such a funny way to do that joke. Homer, hit transfer. Who would think that you'd pull through and live another 5 decades? Did he die? What am I, a doctor? On the commentary, they point out Homer is actually trying to do a good job. The day the violence died. The intro is short, which means the episode went long. I love the eyes glared itchy. In the glass, and Bart is like, if I ever stop enjoying violence, I want you to shoot me. Will do. That seems extreme. Lisa was very ready to agree to that. Bye, kids. Bring back a 6-pack of beer. Why can't they just take the gun? Because Lisa might shoot Bart just to be sure. Hello. Oh. That does look a lot like Fritz the Cat. And the drawing. Suddenly those seats are not so good. Yes, Suzanne. It is. This certainly seemed to be a poorly planned parade route. Indeed. And Kirk Douglas does a great job. Get out of bum town, you no-talent bum. Luckily, I was carrying an umbrella at the time. I can't think of a way to finish that sentence. Just bring me to a 90-year-old projector, and the school has one, of course. And the cartoon credits. You'll be rich and famous. Don't. Every year, he takes one cat and one mouse and feeds them and gives them to a hungry family. And Bart's basement instructions, you can, what was it? You can lie down there. Just move the. You can lie down on that cot. Just move the futon out of the way. You know what? Okay. You know what radon is? No. Bye. Spare some change, and Homer throws change into the basement. There's a weird smell and a lot of cursing coming from the basement, and Dad's upstairs. What would have bothered Homer to find in the basement? He invented the cartoon violence, and Snowballs who rushes off in a cloud of smoke. They got this all screwed up. Surrender Dorothy or Surrender Dorothy? We're lousy. There's great animation on the two fist fighting. The B-U-M. Oh. Give me back those blintzes then. Think that one through, Krusty. He would have to throw them back up. And he can't, since he's long since crapped them out. Except Flash on Fox, that was based on a true story. Those are kinds of evidence. I like to bring back all my surprise witnesses. Oh, they were my favorites. How about, Ghost Mutt? I feel like liver and onions. And they, on the commentary, they're not sure if that's Kirk's lip lick. And here's a couple of bucks for your trouble. Look, Marge, a couple of bucks. And the amendment coach. Lisa, stop hitting your brother. Shoeshine, old habits die hard. I'm not greedy. After all that, I don't need anything else. Some people are so humble. What for? Oh, forget it. Well, Bart did it without Lisa on two of the Sideshow Bob preventings. And Lester and Eliza. On the commentary, they point out that it's probably one of the craziest episodes ever. A fish called Selma. Goldblum is great in this, and Hartman is, of course, but he always is. Goldblum is not on that many episodes. There's a lot of great remember him from such films as lines and references in this one. They're great. I really like, Marge talking about Troy to the reality of Troy. Hello, Marge. Hello, Marge. That's the problem. That is not Joe Mantegna. A little something for page 1, and then it's on page 10. And the agent, we haven't, MacArthur Parker, the agent? MacArthur Parker, my agent? We haven't talked. Yeah, you haven't found me work in 8 years. We haven't talked. Yeah, well, whatever. I think I probably screwed them up. Yeah. And jury duty is work. Keep getting seen with human females. He's back from the gutter, and he brought someone with him. I can't think of when I heard a funnier anecdote. Now you tell one. And they both start coughing. This could be it. He hasn't tried to kill me. He's not he's not an elementary school principal. Actually, I guess that was the other sister. Get ready for tennis. It comes on at 10. The movie or the planet? And you're playing the human. It's the part I was born to play. I can sing. I love the Dr. Sayers. From chimpanzee to chimpanzee, it was Earth all along. Down in front. And Selma showing off to Marge at the pool. And the scene at Moe's. I already told you yes. It's a good day for me too, baby. Just marred. Homer, those aren't candy. Marge, can you close your eyes? I'm trying to sleep. There. It's my wedding night. I'm trying to sleep. Fatal discharge. They have injections for that now. C'est trop bien. From now on, she's smoking for 2. Wow. And the bedroom scene. I'll microwave you some nice roaches. That really does sound like a terrible movie. And they point, and Goldblum is on the commentary. And on the commentary, they point out that movie is the kind that you were making in the 70s and that killed Troy's career. People like Troy. Bart on the Road. And, you know, you have Skinner, you know, explain, oh yeah, you go to work with your parents' day, and you'll learn from them. And Scratchy, shut up! You've been interested in nuclear power for years. I've signed numerous petitions to close down the plant. Well, there you go. Well, Bart really wants to see women in the workplace. Why doesn't he go see Patty and Selma at the DMV? No, I would never have thought of that. On some days, we don't let the line move at all. We call those weekdays. And the Cracker Factory, which is incredibly fun to be at. It has purple filling. Purple is a fruit. Why are so many of them at? Because they won't hire an assistant. This is much more fun with a second person. Bart, I left the machine on. Turn it off. I could think of at least 2 things wrong with that title. Well, when are we going to get rowdy? That job is taken. Like there's any way to have fun with fake ID and hundreds of dollars. I'm going away for a week. See ya. Nah. I mean, I wish I was going. Is that right, Bart? And they just buy the story with Glenn and Sinker. I love the rock song as they drive. Bart, Nelson hit me. He sure did. Bart, we gotta stop and get a cup. The 10-year-old mind. Oh, you want to speak to Lisa. Milton, Martin. Where are we going? Did you have any trouble getting past the security guards? Security guards? Good work, Simpson. Simpsons. Kicked me out of the sporting goods store. Back to Winnipeg. Dan's real voice. And Bart says yes to every question they ask. Kids always asking these questions in the car, and usually the parents say no, and sometimes for a good reason. The hitchhiker, yeah. I won't have anyone, bye Mom, to talk to. Who do you love most? And Homer does a prank call on Moe. Why waste your hypnotic powers? Wow. And she pokes Maggie. That is so messed up. Tennessean is Tennessee-believin'. What fur? You mean the weak sphere? Ha ha. We're parked under the sun sphere. He counts down way faster than he counted up. No, Bart, that's a terrier. They're dogs. 500 big. And then I will murder him. No, then he'll know I told. That's her problem with that statement. Your T-437 is fully operational now, I suggest. And Homer starts pouring the oh no, you're running without a T-437. And they point out in the commentary his face is so businesslike as he does, and he flicks the fingers, spread more cola. I love the phone calls there at the very end. 22 short films about Springfield. How is this episode 21 not 22 of the season? I'm going to party like it's on sale for $19.99. Cute reference. Hi, Dr. Nick. and Moe and Barney, and the robbery. I love Skinner's and Chalmers. This episode and in general. Aurora Borealis. At this time of day, at this time of year, localized in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Yes. Can I see it? No. It's just the Northern Lights, Mother. Help! Waving Chalmers away. And Homer and Maggie is great. Dead beat dad, beat dead. And the Pulp Fiction thing with the McDonald's must have sprung up overnight. Well, I can picture the cheese. And Bumblebee Man's real life is a sitcom he has his show. Hold up, we gotta swap insurance info. And I love the Cletus. The Cletus song and the whole Cletus just, yeah. I could talk to my mom while I'm here. Hey Mom, get off the dang roof. Now, overall, the episode is a little too much about humiliation and pain for my taste, too similar to the later seasons. There's so many different characters and so many different events in the episode, and yeah, pain and humiliation are seen as the shortcuts to funny a lot of the time. And Yardley Smith is on the commentary, which is great. And they point out, basically the idea came from, they did that brief thing to make sure one episode was long enough earlier with the brief bit of Flanders with, everyone else loves Ned Flanders. And yeah, this is an entire episode made up of that. And every writer had favorite characters. They did a lottery, and everyone got to write for one of their 3 favorite characters. Raging Abe Simpson and his grumbling grandson, The Curse of the Flying Fish. I love the dickety thing, and maybe it's time we put him in one where he can't get out. And Homer would think that pants up to the armpit is a good thing. And one high school day trip. Over my dead body, it will. That's exactly the point! Smithers, I want that man killed. Alphabetizers? Nah, what good are those anyway? Fex Trula. I love the assassination attempts with the, drops of poison into the glass that he keeps his false teeth in, and then setting the watch. I mean, if you're suddenly, he may have only had a few hours of sleep. Yeah, then you're gonna wake up kind of, messed up and just, I'm up, throws away the false teeth. So there goes the poison, puts the clock in his mouth and runs back and forth. He is more clever than he looks. And he, oh wait, my family never comes to this. And he ducks and knife thrown. Oh, not again. I won't take more than him. I'll be in the car, dudes. And there's one more way to kill a man. But it is, I forget the exact line, but yeah, really clever and careful, and kicks open the door, fires a submachine gun. Was that me or was that you? And he runs, help! Someone's trying to kill me! Okay, we'll do something about that right away. First, we'll start by doubling your medication. And he comes in and shoots. Our residents are trying to nap. What do you call this? Wrinkly gibberish? Now they'll never save your brain, Hitler. Oh, I like that movie. Commander Flanders. And I don't know the difference between right and wrong. Time is Monet's. Oh, terribly sorry, little girl. Back to sleep. Santa? For Ox and Asa and Griff and Burnsy. Well, not so much Burnsy. Can I come? And there's, only if you're average at pass. You're all welcome to visit me in rich man's heaven. Now it's going to show us where to dig. Oh! I'd rather do both. Now let's get that fortune. It's been an honor to serve you, sir. On the commentary, they point out that they went back and forth on whether it should be fighting or flying Hellfish. So hence the gravestone saying fighting instead of flying. Much a-poo about nothing. And the episode is very much about mob hysteria and how it derails political debate. I love how the bear is so friendly and they're all freaking out. Don't have time for the secret knock! And he jumps through the window. Most likely a bear, perhaps employment. The Simpson family. And they only have baking soda, but they have 3 open baking soda boxes. And it looks like he's rescued by Bart, but then his pants go off and then land on his head. And it's smoky. And he shoots Barney, and that's pretty good. Yeah. One kind of being a bear, one kind of being an accessory to being a bear. And Mo gets Barney into a van. I phoned ahead. They swiped my picnic basket. That's specious reasoning, Dad. Thank you, honey. Lisa, I want to buy you a rock. Won't somebody please think of the children? Go back to Germania. Willie, please. The children want to pick on someone their own size. Sliced bread having been invented the previous winter. Later that day, and then they actually live inside the statue. You know what, Apu? I am really, really going to miss you. Sure, the Flinkiac 3000 looks impressive. Don't touch it. But the matches would be so perfect. Internet dating disagrees with you. Really, your only crime was violating U.S. law. Mom, you're the greatest. Can I have this licorice? Just hold on to that one in a safety deposit box. Can the courtesy. You're an American now. Hey, say something again. The Nye Mets are my favorite squadron. And charge whatever I want. A cold beer on a hot Christmas? Oh, Homer, are you rounding up immigrants? And I'm not registered. And Selma with the government don't control the sky. What if you live in a balloon? Oh, it can't be that many. I'll be your tutor. And Apu is smiling and everyone else is like, oh crap. We all know the 13 stripes are for good luck. Partial credit. It's over here, Apu, and Bart's head covers it. Bear Patrol steps up bombing campaign. Is the second newspaper headline. Signs floating away, Chief. No, no, no. Sleep is for the weak, Apu. Now I'll go to bed. I've forgotten everything Mr. Homer taught me. Perfect. One of the protesters shouts, God, you're annoying. Just say slavery. That's apparently based on a real, experience. I am an Indian American, except Native Americans, like us. Yeah. If I could just say a few words, I'd be a better public speaker. These people are the glue that holds together the gears of our society. I love the voting montage. 95% democracy doesn't work. And jury duty. The people we care about. And one of the deleted scenes had McBain do a political ad before Arnie. Yeah. Homerpalooza. I love the entire opening bit with just, Otto standing there. Most of my life I've had to deal with the shame of being a screw-up. But as I stand here with the award for the safest school bus driving, it's like a dream come true. Otto, wake up! And the thing that slams down. They just barely get out, and they get out and spits the tiny buzz out. So, who's good at keeping secrets? The auto wreck yard, where Otto got his auto wrecked by a machine running on auto. That stuff now. Zeppelin, comma, lead. We wouldn't partay with you if you were the last dad on Earth. That guy from Apple Computers? What computers? Ah, 90s. I remember you. And Abe and Homer talking. I really, that scene really, yeah, just absolutely spot on sums up that whole, yeah. Dear Lord. The whole prayer, just, yeah. No, Bart, no. I'm okay today. My mom bought me deodorant. And he bangs his thumb and talks like he has his stuff. She will become property of Blockbuster Entertainment, which means that in 20 years she'll only be accessible via streaming. More butt support. More butt support. Yeah, in some ways we are very different people. And Homer has his first cannonball shot into his stomach. Wait, where'd the ball go? Oh. Homer Simpson smiling politely. They've stopped dreaming about a future I can't possibly provide. I'd like to think that sometimes we also get a message across, such as, hey, animators, don't worry about this crowd moving at all. Nope. Well-meaning rules that don't work out in real life. Pretty sure that's every major religion, Homer. Ho ho. I love every moment of the Philharmonic Orchestra bit. Who ordered the Philharmonic Orchestra? Someone ordered the Philharmonic Orchestra, possibly while high. Cypress Hill, I'm looking your direction. Did we order an orchestra? What's to do with this orchestra? Where did that orchestra come from? I don't know. We got to do something. Yeah, we think we did. Do you know Insane the Brain? I'm with Marge. That actually does sound pretty cool. Oh, come on. Do you feel? The man who embodies everything about rock and roll except the music. There might be one in this cooler. We envy you, Homer. All we have is our legions of fans, our millions of dollars, and our youth. Woohoo! I love the whole being cool talk ending. It's such spot-on commentary. And they point out in the commentary, the stuff in the episode was cool when they did it, but isn't anymore. And the commentators don't really like the act breaks. I think they're fine. You know, do you have any messages for Jimi Hendrix? Yes. Pick up your puppy. And the other one, I forget exactly what it is. And they point out, you know, they say that the rock stuff is fun, the family stuff is boring. The episode is like the Krusty Comeback special episode, but that one didn't have family stuff. And I don't know. I think it works. I really find that the generational thing adds a lot. That, yeah, I don't think the episode would be half the episode. I really disagree with the commentators there. And Otto's talking issues, the words that are based on a Prince song. Summer of 4 Feet 2. Great performance by Christina Ricci, and it's also, you know, her song, her voice already sounds somewhat like, you know, if you just heard Christina Ricci's voice and didn't see her face, didn't see, you know, that she's not a child, then you would, you know, her voice hasn't changed that much since she played Wednesday Addams, which she did beautifully. And the ice cream men are right outside, all jingling with, yeah. And the slogan, immortalizing your awkward face. And just also you know, I'm glad to see that the rest of you remembered that the vacation starts at the end of the day, not the beginning. Wow. John Wilkes Booth drew his gun and Have a nice summer, kids. What happened at Ford's Theater? Was Lincoln okay? He was fine. Go home, Ralph. See, you say that now, but if he writes that in a test later, you're probably gonna, you know, call it a wrong answer. Who died and made you boss? Mr. Estes, the publication selection. Flanders is so nice and Homer is such a jerk to him. And you're sure the Flanderses won't be there? Well, it sounds great. I love them saying their bye-byes. Yeah. Oh, geez, he actually wrote diddly. I left a few helpful notes around the house. Oh. Fill me. Oh, gee. With what, Ned? With water. Oh. I'm never gonna let you get away. And Maggie looks so scared. Don't do it, Lisa. It's a trick. Run! Run! Only kids are that incoherent. You don't control the birds. You will someday, but not now. And you just know they're using like 5 minutes later down at the station. Yeah, stuff sucks. And she looks like Blossom. You go wow them, I hide in the shrubs. Bart the Tholomew. Are we cool with them? No. They must have seen you. And according to the commentary, that board game apparently actually exists. I never appreciated, like, sea junk before. Crustacean. David Hasselhoff, man. And Homer mentions all this embarrassing stuff, and then fireworks in the middle. Celebrate the independence of your country by blowing up a small part of it. And Marge quickly turns and walks right back out with, was it Rice Krispie Squares and Tang. I know where there's a beach. We'll follow your lead, O wise cartographer. Fresh out. And, you know, Homer running around with the, and, you know, throwing it into the fridge. The beer! And he throws it into the dishwasher. And, you know, it explodes, and yeah. You know, the thing spits that stuff back out, and he just walks away whistling like nothing. You haven't said that in 4 years. Milhouse's glasses as binoculars, and great reveal on Bart walking out. And Marge is doing the blown-up dishes in hand. And Lisa's furious. It's very nicely shown. Oh boy, a colonel! And Lisa thought of shooting Bart just a fraction of a second before he thought of shooting her. And the Lisa rules, that's very sweet of them. But don't drive at night. And why we shouldn't drink seawater? Sweet, merciful crap, my car! Lisa's mouth hangs open for a few seconds after Bart hands her the book. Or, yeah, something around that. And for, you know, in case you're watching this and you can't, you know, pause it, because without that you really don't have time to read these. They're really sweet, so I want to read them out loud. We'll miss you, Aaron, Rick, Dean, Ben, and you made a hot summer very cool. I'll miss you, Aaron. And she has very nice handwriting. Like, I like you, you know? Dean, without you, summer's a bummer. Rick, next year, bring your microscope, Ben. That's, yeah, really sweet. And Aaron puts a heart at the top of the end of her N in her signature. I signed it too. And Yardley's on the commentary, and great, as usual. So, the end of an era. Last season thoughts video I'm going to do. Bye. Please comment, thumbs up, and subscribe for more content.